noticed some rumors circulating the interwebs about the very much anticipated iPhone 14. It feels so weird saying iPhone 14. Yes, the rumors are true. The iPhone 14 will be released this fall. So I'm here today to sit down and basically tell you what you can expect out of the iPhone 14, what the rumors are that are floating around, what the design will look like, the price points, and all of that. I'm still rocking the 12 Pro Max. I could be in the market for the 14, but I'll save my true thoughts till the end of the video. So let's get into it. All right, so here's what we know so far about the iPhone 14. When I was researching for this video, I literally came across these rumors of an Apple flip phone, like one that bends in half. It was the weirdest thing. I couldn't tell if it was a scam or actually real, so super weird. We'll have to get into that if that ever does happen, which not sure. All right, so the first major difference to note is that the iPhone 14 release will no longer have a mini version of the phone. If you notice, the iPhone 13 had the mini, the regular iPhone 13, the 13 Pro, and the 13 Pro Max. But it looks like they are eliminating the mini, and instead they will still have a group of 4, but it'll start at the regular iPhone 14, go up to the iPhone 14 Plus or Max, whatever they decide to call it. People are speculating that they may start calling it a Plus, kind of like they did back when it was, you know, the iPhone 8, the iPhone 8 Plus, basically just a bigger, slightly better version of the previous model. The name is TBD. We don't have any actual confirmation of that yet, but we do know that they're getting rid of the mini and they're adding in a Plus version. When it comes to the design of the iPhone 14 and how it actually looks, it seems that there are only a couple major differences. We can expect that the iPhone 14 will have that same 6.1-inch display on the front with the notch that exists right now. But a pretty big change that seems to be coming is that the iPhone 14 Pro and Pro Max may be getting rid of the notch altogether and will instead be adopting this hole punch and pill design, which is basically the same as the notch, except that the screen will actually wrap around it so that not as much is cut off, which really isn't all that different from the notch. Even with a big change like that, I don't feel like it really affects anything that much. I can't say that it's a feature that I'm like super excited about or anything, but seems like it'll be cool. In terms of the buttons and the ports on the bottom, everything looks to be about the same as before, with the exception of potentially the lock button on the Pro models being the tiniest bit lower down the side of the frame. Seriously, not by much, so I don't think you'll notice anything. People were wondering whether potentially the iPhone 14 would start using a USB-C charger instead of the charger that we have right now. And that's because Europe is going to be requiring that kind of charge for devices, I think this year going forward, or maybe next year, but it doesn't look like they're gonna be adopting that for this iPhone model. I think they've already started producing them and it's too late, but we could potentially be anticipating that for 2023 or 2024. I guess we'll figure that out. And honestly, because I have an iPad and a MacBook, I wouldn't mind it that much. It would all be the same cord. It would be super nice. The only other design difference until we get to the cameras is that the Pro models might not have that SIM card slot on the side. There have been rumors that that might be going away. I'm not entirely sure. And honestly, it doesn't affect me at all because I have Verizon. I don't even use the SIM card. But again, other than that, front and side's pretty similar to how they were before. Now here comes the biggest design difference on these phones, and it's when it comes to the back camera. And even this is not that crazy. The prototypes circulating around of the iPhone 14 Pro and Pro Max seem to have a slightly thicker camera bump on the back. So the cameras are slightly more spread apart and raised up a tiny bit more. It's very insignificant. You can hardly notice it. However, the really unfortunate part about it is that it's just different enough that your iPhone 13 Pro case will not fit the iPhone 14 Pro, which is a big bummer. Apple seems to be continuously having you buy new cases, which I wish weren't the case, but what are we gonna do? With this difference though, there is expected to be an increase in camera resolution, which I think we can always do with. Even though the cameras are so good right now, I never think it can get better, and then it surprises me and gets better. People are talking about potentially an 8K video recording setting, which honestly 4K is so crisp, I never need to shoot in 8K, so that would not benefit me at all, but I guess more options is more appealing to more people. So again, the two biggest design differences we're looking at are number one, the rear camera bump being a little bit thicker and a little bit bigger, more spread out. And number two, the Pro models getting rid of the notch on the top and instead adopting this sort of button pill type of situation. Not button. This hole punch and pill. I don't know why they call it that. This dot and this line. It seems like Apple usually waits about 3 years to do like a major design switch. So this 14 looks like it's gonna be pretty similar to the 13, but if that remains to be true, then the iPhone 15 may be very, very different from these. I guess only time will tell. iPhone flip, anyone? Please no. Now, when it comes to the front-facing camera on the iPhone, rumors are that this will improve. This is maybe the one aspect of iPhone that's not that great. The back camera is awesome now, but the front camera is not like amazing. So there are rumors that that may improve. They don't know in which way it will, but look out for that. When it comes to colors, everybody is speculating there may be a really cool purple color coming out, but last year people did anticipate this orangey rust color that never ended up coming out, so I don't know if I trust the rumors with this one. They may end up replacing the Sierra blue with a purple, or they may leave it the same, or they may add a bunch of different colors. I really don't know, but I kind of do hope for the purple because I think that'd be awesome. Now, when it comes to the inside of the phones, the regular iPhone 14 lineup, so the 14 and the 14 Plus or whatever it's gonna be called, should be pretty similar in terms of specs. They actually will be running the A15 Bionic chip, which is the chip that is currently in the iPhone 13 Pro. So obviously that's still a really good phone. So if you don't decide to get the upgraded Pro models next time around, you're still working with some pretty fast processing power. The 14 Pro and Pro Max, of course, will have the A16 chip, so I'm sure that just means performance will be improved, but you know, I'm pretty happy with my performance now, so if I can just hold on to that feeling when the new phone comes out, maybe I won't spend the money. I don't know. Another major difference is that there are rumors about an always-on display function with the Pro models. Apparently some code was leaked for the A16 and people figured out that it may be code for an always-on display. If you don't know what that is, if you don't have an Apple Watch, it just means that it will always be on instead of turning black and it'll just dim itself. I personally don't love this. It drains the battery. I turned it off for my Apple Watch even though it's an option. I feel like I don't really need it, but again, that's just speculation. We are not positive that that is going to be a thing, so who knows? All right, and finally, let's talk about the price points. Of course, we can't confirm anything right now, but if you take a look at the history of iPhone releases, they really haven't changed the prices very much. The last 3 releases have been the same price points for every model, so I'm really hoping it'll be the same this time. I don't really see why it would be any more expensive, seeing as there's really not a whole lot going on that's different than the previous models. But again, who knows? I would not be surprised with inflation if they just decided to bump up the price. Hopefully they don't. But if we're correct and they keep them the same, we're probably looking at a price of $699 for the iPhone 14, $799 for the 14 Plus or Max or whatever they're gonna call it, $999 for the 14 Pro, and $1099 for the Pro Max. That's really all that there is to be known about the iPhone 14, and if these rumors are true, then it's really pretty underwhelming what the differences are. If you're in the market for a new phone, this could be a great option, but if not, I would maybe recommend sticking around for the iPhone 15 that hopefully will be a lot bigger of a difference. I'm very excited to start speculating what iOS 16 will be like because, as we know, sometimes the software changes are a little bit more intense than the actual hardware itself. So I'm looking forward to seeing whether it's going to be a subtle change or a big change. I've been loving the past 2 releases. iOS 14 and 15 have been so fun with all the new customization and widgets and just the way that everything is laid out. I feel like they do such a good job of continuing to make it more streamlined and, you know, conducive to productivity on all of those things. So I'm very excited to see what happens. Thank you guys so much for watching. If you want more videos about Apple, iPhones, iOS, then give this video a thumbs up, hit that subscribe button, and I'll see you guys in my next video. Bye.